This is A1, every dog has its day.
Really hard for me to predict this game. I want to go with my heart and pick Florida, but I'm just not confident in their special teams and the way that they've been playing. And I go back and look at that Utah game and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Florida, but I'm picking Tennessee.
You thought I forgot. You thought I forgot. Woo! How about them, baby? How about them Gators, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports. Ooh! Ooh! If y'all missed the call-in show last night, y'all missed it. Y'all missed an absolute show, my boy. The receipts. Oh Lord. Hey. He said he never lost in Florida. It wasn't me. I didn't say that. Never lost in Florida. My boys and girls. Good evening. It's a great day to be a Gator. You know what I'm saying? It's a great day to be a Gator. Hey.
He's got that Gator in him. That's what I would tell you.
How about them Gators?
My mic was off. Sorry, guys. How about them Gators, ladies and gentlemen? The atmosphere was absolutely incredible. Let's go into some opening thoughts about this game, boys and girls. I had the pleasure of being at the game. Thank you to Mr. Cam Bishop and his family for allowing me to get into the game. I was able to have some incredible seats in the Champions area. I ended up being next to Connor Clark, which was a blast. Got to hang out and cheer with him as well. I don't have a voice, clearly. It was absolute mayhem the entire time. I can't describe to you. It was so loud. It was as if, like, like when you watch a movie and somebody is like in a moment and it's like extremely loud and it almost it feels like it's like stopped in time and it's like boom, 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 to where the sound almost goes away. That's how loud it was last night. When I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm just dialed in here. Like, we're 3rd and 9, right? 3rd and visors. We're here humping air and just doing whatever we got to do to get the stop here. I swear to goodness, dude, it was so loud. It was deafening that you feel like you couldn't even do anything. It was unbelievable. I'm telling you, boys, right now, the energy that was flowing through that stadium last night. I was surrounded by some older gentlemen. The guy was like 97 years old. Says last night on the stream. The guy was like 97 years old. He had hearing aids in, binoculars so he could see the football game. At one point, I don't know if I was upsetting him, but then I realized he said, "Fuck Tennessee." I go, this guy got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying? I swear to goodness, this man hadn't walked in the last 15 years. Billy was saying, "Be healed," to everybody, just giving life to the people around him. Okay, that's how electrifying that stadium was last night. That's how electric that football team was last night. You want to talk about culture? You want to talk about passion, boys? You want to talk about being bought in? That's what we've been saying this entire time. It's what I've been beating the drum about. So I've been smashing this damn drum, boys. Smashing this drum about this stuff right here. This is last night. We got a glimpse of it, bro. My Makusa, bro, at the end, bro. You see him square up on Tennessee like that, bro? Bro, Buddy was ready to go like 4 rounds with him, bro. 4 or 5 minute rounds, bro. Because like this. In the end zone. I swear to goodness. He said, "What's up? Come my quarterback one time." Hey, he was like, "Ask my quarterback." That's what I was screaming all night last night. Bro, like this. Remember, Makusa was ready to leave like 6 months ago because he pulled some kind of hammy. This was him last night. Hey.
He's got that Gator in him. That's what I would tell you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Boys, hey, job's not finished, though. We got Charlotte next week in the Swamp, and then we go all the way to Lexington, Kentucky. We got to handle our business back-to-back weeks here, right? We got to handle our business back-to-back weeks. Incredible football game. Absolutely incredible football game. Look, man, let's talk about what they did well for a minute. The defense. Holy smackaroni. The defense. You get punched in the mouth first drive. Joe Milton goes 4 for 4. They hit you in a corner route. Beautiful touchdown pass. I go, what's up? You know? I'm questioning life at that point in time. Like, what are we doing here? Gators go out. Big Trevor eats 62-yard touchdown run, missed the field goal. It's like, oh, God. All right, whatever. Brush it off. Defense comes out, puts it to him. Big stop. The linebacker play last night, boys and girls, from Shamar James, Scoob, was absolutely exceptional. There's no other word to describe how well that linebacker class played. And what I loved was, again, because how Nate Johnson ran the football around all over us, I was concerned with, how we would handle that. We swallowed him whole. He wasn't effective with his legs at all. Now, Jabari Small, he was much better at running the football. But he did not move the ball like I thought he would. Look, some of those throws that he made, you had to expect him to make some good throws, right? He made some good throws. Milton did to his receivers. So you did expect those kind of things. But I thought the defense played extremely well. Jordan Castell, freshman. I don't know how much of you could see on TV. I had the bird's eye view. I could see him everywhere. The stops that young man made, he was out to murder somebody last night. I think he took out Kimber. Maybe it was Moten on one of the plays in the end zone. It was like towards the end of the game. Buddy laid him out because he was going for the ball. Didn't even check back to check on him. Just walked off. He didn't care. He was that focused. He was that dialed in of running somebody over that he just did not care for anybody else's well-being. It was unbelievable just how locked in and dialed. And a freshman, mind you. A freshman. I told you about how many recruits were going to be there this weekend. They saw that. This team is a young, hungry football team, boys and girls. I'm telling you, man, it was incredible to watch those young guys. Jakeem Jackson got burned, obviously, when they put up that 16 points. That is what it is. I was high on Jakeem Jackson. I still am. I think he's a phenomenal cornerback. I think he just got beat, no big deal on that. The D-line held its own. My goodness, Cam Jackson, Chris McClellan, those boys were all over the football field. They're making tackles well outside between the hash marks. Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. The O-line did its job. They did exactly what we needed it to do. We came into this game. We talked about it on our Wednesday show. I pulled up the PFF rankings. They had, 6-7 offensive, defensive linemen in the top 100 PFF rankings. That was a good defensive line, and it held up. Damian George, told you, big game loading. Hell of a game by Damian George. Austin Barber, you didn't hear his names, but he's doing a good job. The penalties, we're going to go over the stat lines here in just a little bit. Tyreek Sapp looked good. I mean, I could go on and on with who had great games. Eugene Wilson, we're going to talk about him obviously getting injured during the game a little bit. But make sure you guys drop a like. 224 people, baby. Let's get it. Let's go, baby. Show some damn love. Let's smash the like button, baby. Let's get fired up to be here. Happy Sunday. Man, I loved watching that football game last night, boys. I don't know about you. I couldn't get enough. I was getting lightheaded. I was screaming so much. You know what I mean? Hey, I don't see no haters in here no more. It's weird. I think their internet went out. It's wild. It's weird how they forget to come on here. I show up win or lose, but they ain't nowhere to be found. I got the receipts though. When they're ready to show their face, we'll be here. We'll be here. The defense had a twitch. Yeah, Wilcox setting the edge. They had a twitch last night. Princely was doing his job. He was doing such a good job that you may not see it show up on the stat line, but the speed was there. Playing at home in front of that crowd was absolutely electric. Again, but I want to see him do it on the road. Lexington's going to be the next big test. I got to see it on the road. It is still a young team, right? So there's still some things that could definitely come up, but that loss at Utah, and I said it and Billy said it, you have to face adversity as a team, and how you respond tells you who you are as a man and just your character in general. And to come back and bounce back these last two games, again, McNeese State, I told you, was a big game to move forward and move the right direction. Hey, believe we can do it. They believe they could do it against McNeese State. Now, they really believe they can do it. It's the exact same reason why I constantly say that's why you play the games. That's why you have to show up each and every single week, and why I can't pick Florida to lose, because you have to play the football games, especially in rivalry games. Anybody can get it done. It's just about finding yourself during those games. Colorado State almost beat Colorado last night. They had no business being that close. No business being that close. But when you find that passion in you, right, you can find a way to get it done. So trust the process, baby. Hey, I don't know if any of y'all remember here, but I mentioned it on Wednesday night's show, but I said this, I beat this drum last year a lot. I beat those drums a lot. I said lightning in a bottle for Tennessee Vols. And I meant it. And I stand by my word. And it's only one game. It's only one loss for them. They can easily bounce back. You know, they've got a great football team. They're able to get things done. But he just said he never lost in Florida. And I was just wondering, like what he meant by that. Because I was confused. I was confused. Let's take a look at the stat line here real quick. Passing yards, I mean, they slung the football. Don't get it twisted. 387 to 349. Oh, excuse me. That's total yards. Pardon me. Total yards. Passing yards, 287 to 166. 166, again, we would like to see maybe over 200 a little bit from Mertz. Eugene Wilson going down probably didn't help. But once we went up that third quarter, and Billy talked about in his press conference, he says, I was probably a little bit too conservative. We were extremely conservative that second half. But I'm watching, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, you don't want to do anything stupid. No need to try to throw a quick little slant route that gets picked off. You lose the momentum. Just eat the clock, man. With the way the clock is running out, it's hard. I don't think people have a true gauge. Coaches don't have a true gauge on how quick that clock is actually running. And I know that sounds crazy, but just watching on the field and watching the clock, like that was something that I was keeping an eye on. And I'm looking at it, and at some point, you knew it was like there's no way they could come back, but it's football, right? So you never really know. But Tennessee fans, there are a lot of Tennessee fans leaving at like the 8-minute mark. Honestly, man, when it's 8 minutes, you're down by 2 scores. That it's going to be tough. And especially since they burned 2 timeouts early on just for nonsense, it's extremely tough now to go down there and score. The clock does not stop for anybody. It's like soccer. It is just running. But then unlike soccer, you don't get an additional time. So watching that made me realize, like, look, Billy just says, hey, let's not do anything catastrophic here. Let's not give them a reason to believe. They get a stop when we go get a first down, and they make us go 3 and out in the next set, punt it. Our defense is playing lights out. They can't throw on them. They hadn't thrown on them besides a couple big plays. Sure, they want to run it. Go ahead, run the football. You're going to take 5-6 minutes off the clock, and I'm going to get the ball back with 2 minutes anyways, if you were to score. And that's kind of how it looked, and that's exactly how they played. So I wouldn't really get too caught up with the passing yards. Rushing yards, though, 183 rushing yards. I know I played that clip with David, but he did say for Florida to win, they need to have over 150. They had over 150, I believe, in the first half. So, again, things slowed down tremendously after that. Third down efficiency, we were 7-14, 50%. They were 8 of 15. Fourth down efficiency, they were 0 for 3. Billy talked about this in his press conference. He counts those as turnovers because, again, you get the ball at the spot of the turnover versus him getting to punt it, right? It's not a true change of positions. Plus the pick. That pick was absolutely huge. At that point, you felt things kind of move the right way for the Florida Gators after that. The penalties, though, man, 5 to 10 penalties. Massive. The amount of times, dude, that the Tennessee looked like Florida at Utah. With just the false starts and the dumb mistakes and the personal fouls, all of that. And I can't remember what our penalty was. I think we had too many guys on the field at one point. That's one. That one was tough. That one was just, Tennessee was moving and we were trying to rotate the line out. That's on coaching more so, in my opinion, than just a kid making a mistake. That wasn't really that big of a deal. I want to say we had offsides on a kickoff. Like, these are small things that, like, yeah, sure, they add up, but, like, whatever. Trying to remember the other ones. We may have had a false start, but we did. We had a false start the first play of the game, I think. we did. I want to say we had a false start the first play of the game. But yeah, I think they played tremendously. Super chat from Sorley. What up, baby? Says, piss missiles flew and the Gators pulled through. Napier better pay Armstrong and Bateman after this season. Go Gators, bro. Old Armstrong, boys and girls. Yeah, he had 163 at the half. That's what I thought. He had 163 at the half. We're definitely in the top 25. I saw this morning we're 25, and I think they're 24. I lost my voice. Hell yeah, Gator. Me too. Are you here? I'm struggling here. Thank you, Sean D. Good win. Good win. Go look good yesterday. Thank you. Georgia pulled out of that as well, too. That was a fun game. Yeah, big pick was a big takeaway. But, Milton looked absolutely atrocious. But then there was times he had flashes of lightning, as one would say. So, boys, I can't put into words how exciting last night was. I'm trying to the best that I can, but they look exceptional. I'm trying to give you like the raw, but I'm still on that high of winning last night. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's unreal. It's unreal. The Tom Petty, I mean, the lights, the LEDs. That tradition is like on any other. Man, it's been a while since I've been to a Florida game, and my track record of Florida games aren't the greatest. That was something special. That was something special to be a part of. My uncle, he's an FSU fan. He even said last night he was at the game because he lives in Gainesville. He said, "Look, there's nothing better than the Swamp at night. Like you can't. It's unmatched." And Stephen Harris, he commented, he tweeted out basically saying that the culture has been lost, and he took accountability. Him and the older players, that it's their job to pass that on to the next person, because when a new coach comes in, they may not have that same. They shouldn't, right? They wouldn't have that same passion about what it is to play for the Florida Gators, to play against Tennessee, to play against the Georgias, right? Those rivalries. The coaches, they have to learn them as they go on, right? So how does this tradition continue to carry when you're rotating coaches year in and year out, and guys from like the 06 and the 08 class aren't involved? Well, now you got Brandon Spikes there. All week long, he was saying, I hate Tennessee. I hate Tennessee. He was probably on fuck Tennessee, how we were all day long. Like, we the fans, it never leaves us. Year in and year out, right? It's orange and blue, right? So new season, same colors. And for the players, though, if it's easy to slowly lose that as years go on, if it's not being, taken care of. So the Roman Empire, that's been a big thing that's been talked about on TikTok lately. What's so impressive about it again, and why men think about it, is because of how long they conquered. To be able to pass that on from generation to generation and just carry that culture and what everything means from person to person, it's just like a heritage of your own family, like your last name. At some point, and I've talked about this before, it was lost. And this is what I've been talking about with Billy, bringing that culture back and getting these guys involved. The fact that they had a history lesson of the rivalry and what it meant, it just shows that they're bought in. And again, Stephen Harris's tweet was basically saying, like, we have dropped the balls as old players and not doing a good enough job of bringing the passion to the Florida Gators and what it means to be a Gator, to play in the Swamp, to play in front of 90,000 plus like it was last night. It was like 90,776 people in there last night. Balls deep, nut to butt, standing room only. Dude, it was earth-shattering last night. Earth-shattering. Right now, everyone is beatable. Absolutely, QLE. And that's what makes college football exciting, too, is that, again, there's nobody that's out there just running away with it. Everyone feels, FSU looked beatable yesterday. Georgia looked beatable yesterday. Bama been beatable. Texas is, they're kind of, I think the verdict is still out. Oklahoma, the verdict is still out. A couple teams, the verdict is still out. Next week's going to be a big week. It's going to be a slaughterhouse. It's going to be a bloodbath next week. So we'll get a really good idea of how things are happening. I saw that. I saw the refs, the Tennessee fans blaming the refs. I'm not trying to be biased here, but that is the most ignorant thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. It was like you had 10 penalties to 5, I think is what I just mentioned. At least 5 of them were blatant. Absolutely blatant. So if you want to say 5 weren't, doesn't matter. You got your ass kicked. You got absolutely manslaughtered. Had nothing to do with the refs. That's just blasphemy, in my opinion. Absolute blasphemy. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe, boys. Happy to have all you here. Love you. Good seeing you. Let's do a quick injury update. So Eugene Wilson got slammed last night on one of the plays. I thought he was done. So the Discord was going berserk that he was out. And if you don't recall, he injured his collarbone in high school. So he's been kind of dealing with that injury. He even started this practice when he got there in June. Yes, Eugene Wilson got there in June with a non-contact jersey on due to the injury that he was overcoming. So last time we were a little nervous, but apparently it was just a bone bruise or a collarbone bruise. I think it was more of an overreaction. Like, hey, look, let's not put yourself into any jeopardy. Let's take a day off. I wouldn't be surprised if you take Charlotte off, to be honest with you, and I'm okay with that. We're in a good place. Thankfully, we've got a little bit of a bounce back game, but we got a long season ahead of us. So good thing is Billy said it's not serious. Checked everything out. Just a little bit of a bruise, more of a precautionary thing. Mertz did have a glove. They talked about it in his interview. He said he put on a glove. He said he wore a glove on his hand last year due to a sprain. Man was getting beat up. he was over here looking like Tim Tebow. I swear to goodness, at some point I looked up, and it could have been because I was lightheaded, and it may have been the booze wearing off, right? It could have been a combination of things. But I swear to goodness, there was like a Tim Tebow angel floating over Graham Mertz, like just kind of like picking him up, like angels in the outfield type shit. I don't know. I know Tebow picked the Tennessee, but maybe he realized that he messed up, so he came down and in there and just swooped up Mertz and threw him in the end zone when he rushed it in there. Again, I could have been seeing stuff, but it was crazy in there. So, I don't think that I was far off in that analysis. That's probably what happened. But
How about them Gators?
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But all good on the front with the injuries. And now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, hey, in all of it, in the midst of it all, right? I'm driving home, losing. I'm screaming at people, getting in fights with Tennessee fans. We get a commit. It don't stop, baby. The Gators get a commit, a 2025 running back. You're like, Joe, 2025. I know, but it's time. That's where we're headed. This is where we're already in the 2025 recruiting cycle. Like, this isn't crazy. I'm telling you, Miles Graham was first to do it last year. He kicked the class off pretty early. Now we got what's his name? Wardell Clark or Waltez Clark, 2025 4-star running back. Huge pickup. Our first commit of the class puts us ranked like 20th right now and 25th. 6 foot 195, a little bit bigger than the backs we have right now. All of our backs are about 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot. This was the Gators' number one target thus far. He must have been there. Again, I can't remember if he was there or not. He had to have been, I would imagine, to see what's going on right now. He's the number 12th, 11th running back in the country. I think. Let me see overall what's his ranking. 151 nationally. So look, we could probably expect that to move up. Picked us over the likes of Penn State, USF, and Oregon. Those are his offers currently out of Tampa Bay, Florida. Love that he's already committed, man. Love that 2025 class is already getting warmed up. We know DJ Pickett. He was out, the 5-star safety. He was there. Somebody that we've been high on. He tweeted out last night, I've seen all I need to see. So hopefully that's another domino that falls as well. Look, boys, you're starting to see it now. You're starting to see what we've been preaching on this channel, the Disney Gators, as we like to be called. You know what I mean? You're starting to see it. Yeah, he's a big boy, dude. Look at this man. That's a big boy for a running back. 6'1", 6'2", you start getting that, that monster size. But 6 foot 195, and he's got some wheels, bro. I'm loving it. It's always recruiting season. I don't know. There was a picture taken of Billy last night at 1:15 in the morning. Maybe it was 11. Maybe it was like 12. Talking to a recruit on the football field. Unbelievable. I love it after a week of Dan Mullen running his mouth. You know what I mean? Everybody running their mouth. Tennessee stays little bro. Man. I loved it. But huge commit there for Waltez again, for the Florida Gators to get that 2025 class off and started. The running back room is definitely a focus of need. Something that I talked about in the previous show. We only got one this past class, it looks like. I don't think we're getting another one. Kanan Daniels, obviously, looks like he's going to be extremely competitive running back for us. But the fact that we only had one the last 3 years with Montrell, Trayon, and now we're going into 2025, we got to figure out how we can get some more. Now, I don't know if Billy has some plans to go pick some other guys up in the portal. I think Cam Carroll's going to come back. Hell, Montrell might even come back. We could see ourselves next year with Montrell, Trevor, Trayon, and Kanan Daniels in the backfield on top of Cam Carroll, because I think he gets to come back for a year after the injury. Now, if he will or not, that's left up to be debate. But all of a sudden, that running back room is extremely thick. But again, that following year, right? Let's think farther ahead, 2026. Montrell and Trevor are more likely, if Montrell's not gone, they're 100% gone. So now we're kind of back to thin if we don't find a way to fill that up, right? We need it when those guys leave. It's Trayon, Cannon, Clark, and a few more, right? That we maybe either pick up through the transfer portal, how have you. But that's kind of where I'm thinking, you got to keep this thing rolling here. But look, I'm getting a little bit further along that ADD. Why is my voice gone? I mean, you tell me why my voice is gone. You know what I'm saying? How about them Gators, baby? That's why my voice is gone. Oh, man. Whew. I'm fired up to be here, boys. Almost 300 people in the chat. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe. Yeah, the new commit was at the game. I figured he was. All right, boys and girls, let me go ahead and close this down. Good seeing you guys. Huge commit again. Love you. As always, I'm going to drop another video separately about War Tennesse so I can talk a little bit more about them. But I do want to say thank you guys to everyone that I was able to meet last night. All of you were absolutely incredible. I appreciate you coming up and saying hey and introducing yourself and getting to know you a little bit, getting to put a face to an avatar as much as I could, and just to kind of hear your guys' stories and how far people traveled to be there. It's absolutely incredible. It's something really cool, man. That's why I love the orange and blue. I was emotional, man, at the game, dude. It's just like it's something crazy, man. It's just I talk about it all the time. You guys know how I am, how passionate I am about it, and look, it's for those moments, it's for those games why you constantly stay true to it, right? It makes it that much sweeter versus being something like this.
Really hard for me to predict this game. I want to go with my heart and pick Florida, but I'm just not confident in their special teams and the way that they've been playing. And I go back and look at that Utah game and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Florida, but I'm picking Tennessee.
So I mean, it's good. I'd rather be on this side of the boat. I'm sorry, Dave. I told him I was gonna give him shit, so he's gonna have to. I gave Dave Water shit too. I'm gonna have to give him some more shit too. But man, we're probably gonna do our show later on. I just had to get this out, but I'm gonna do another one. Maybe we'll get Dave on. Maybe we'll do a full recap here in the next couple days. But probably for sure tomorrow we'll do another live show. But I love you guys again. Thank you for everyone that's been a part of this journey and came and said, hey, we're on the way to 17,000 subs, boys and girls. So I love you guys. Rome, hell yeah, man. Good seeing you, Bubba. Absolutely. It was really cool to see all of you guys. It really was. And getting to cheer with some of you as well, too, man. Like, it's just, we're family. You know what I mean? So, I love it. I appreciate you guys. Be good. Go Gators. How about them? I'll see you guys in the next one.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I
forgive you, Mitchell. Oh, you gotta call in, Mitchell. You gotta call in.
You don't do well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never